Well, we're back with some more Bleach Soul Resonance, and we'll be taking a look at that patch, those buffs for both Ulquiorra and Grimmjow. I think what I'm going to end up doing here is I'll do Ulquiorra off camera, just in training mode, and then we'll just see the result of his damage. I'll do Grimmjow the same way, off camera, we'll see the result of his damage, and then I'll take Ulquiorra specifically into like the limited tower, just so free-to-plays can see him work at B0. You gotta remember, I do have B0 Aizen, B0 Xayah. My capture is not working. I guess I'll pause. As I was saying, I have B0 Ulquiorra, I have B0 Xayah, and I have B0 Aizen. I don't even have Xayah's core stamp, so it should be a pretty free-to-play friendly actual presentation. That way you can see what these characters actually do. One of their, I will say, I'll go through the buffs really quickly, but I want to say that I feel vindicated, because while these buffs are literally damage buffs, they aren't like, you know, they're kind of low end buffs. They feel almost, here's how I described it on, I made a community post and I made a Twitter post saying, essentially, these buffs feel like they happen because Aizen is not an optimal pairing for this character. If this character had a Soifon, if this character had an LL, if this character had a White Ichigo, I don't think these buffs happen, period. I think they happen to tide us over until we see the Spirit Tactics character release for him. And I don't think, in fact, that these buffs are because he actually needed, you know, these sweeping changes. These feel a lot more like, here, damn. You know, here, damn. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me personally. I don't, you know, think what you like. Think, you know, if you want to say he needed them, but attack recovery, optimized camera as well. He got some damage bumps here, like 0.5 to 20, up to 20%, and then a 10% here. I mean, they're buffs. They're undeniably buffs, but this is not the same. Like, you genuinely can't compare this to this. Like, if you were to be like, it's the same thing as, oh, every character needs buffs after they release, it's like when they did this for Mayuri. It's not. I really don't think so. I think this is because Aizen very clearly is not made with Ulquiorra in mind. And because we run on a 3-week patch cycle, character cycle, they need to do something to sort of let Ulquiorra have that bump, because he's the final character before, you know, we move into TYBW stuff for a while. So I will say, I like that they did it. I just don't think it's like a super necessary thing that they did. We got a little more core stamp. This makes it great if you decide to, you know, focus this core stamp. Core stamp buffs are always great because of the nature of them being essentially free-to-play power bonuses. And then Grimmjow got essentially 2,000 or 20% added to almost everything he has. I'm going to look over, just really quickly read off what he has instead of like switching my capture. So Grimmjow without dupes got 680 to 800% on his basic attack, 36% added to his attack jump, 44 added to his attack per his marks. He got 80% added to his kick. He got 88% added to his technique. He got, I would say, about like, I guess 84% added to his combo technique, and he got 240% added to his technique grip. His ultimate got hit with a 1,440% increase. I think that math is right. And his counter got hit with a 260% increase. So, like I said, not switching the capture over there, just, you know, just a real quick rundown. So a lot of buffs. Let's say Grimmjow is substantially buffed, I would actually say. I would say Grimmjow unironically might have gotten buffed more than Ulquiorra, but I think that is kind of the result of, if I'm honest, Ulquiorra already being really good. Those buffs feel like they're making up for a non-optimal, you know, landscape that Ulquiorra exists in, not, you know. So let me just go do a quick run. I'll come back, we'll look at the damage. I'll do the same thing for Grimmjow, we'll look at the damage. Then we'll do an actual tower showcase. We'll see how easy it is, because I'm gonna beat the hell out of it with Ulquiorra. And then free-to-play players can be like, hey, if I get Ulquiorra at B0, which I have not pulled extra for him, after the buffs, I feel like I feel less incentivized, if anything, to pull for a dupe, which is great. That's amazing. Remember, we're 4 days into this, so we have, you know, 2.5 weeks more time to save Jade for what looks like, you know, true Shikai Ichigo. So I think that's where I'm going. After the buffs, I don't feel like I want a dupe, but I think a dupe is great. I just don't feel like I want one. So yeah, let's do that. So as you can see here, as we, you know, come back in on the damage with optimizations to the rotation. I don't know, I tried to say optimizations and rotation at the same time. With optimizations to the rotation, we end up at 249 million total damage and 2.07 DPS. That 2.07 million DPS benchmark is right where I want to be with a new character, I think. Now that the teams are fuller, now that they're more, you know, cohesive, that's right where I want to be. Again, these aren't the most optimized rotations in the world or anything, but for a 120-second, you know, demo, I think that looks pretty good. You can see Xayah has about 4.6 and Aizen has about 89 million. So Ulquiorra is by far gapping them, especially Aizen by, you know, almost 60 million, right? So 70 million. So a very strong performance from Ulquiorra, who already looked good before, right? Again, it's not insane monumental buffs or anything. It's not too much more, but about a 0.3, you know, million DPS increase is, you know, pretty phenomenal, I think. It's what I'd like to see, but again, he was already sort of coasting around that 2 million DPS benchmark, where, again, like I said, is where I'd want to be. So I'll do the same thing this time with Grimmjow, and then we'll do an actual, like, showcasing of, you know, this free-to-play focused team in actual content. So let me just click over here. And we are back. Here is the Grimmjow version of this test. We have 332 million total damage, a DPS of 2.77. We have 229 million from Grimmjow himself, 99 million from Soifon, 3 million from Mayuri. Remember that this is with a Grimmjow who is now dupe 1, and I think Awakening 2 on his core stamp. Soifon is also got dupes in her core stamp, and Mayuri is max core stamp. So this is a less, you know, traditional free-to-play setup, but still within the realms of what I would call, you know, free-to-play friendly, low spending is, you know, because it's not like you can't get a dupe, you know, one dupe, especially if you get lucky on a banner as free-to-play, or if you really want a dupe, a lot of times you can get a dupe, but it's, again, it becomes you need to get lucky somewhere, or you need to have gotten lucky on a previous banner, that way you can save some Jade, which is typically what happened for me. I remember I pulled Xayah and Soifon on tickets, essentially, so I got very lucky during their banners. That's why I've been floating a lot of Jade, is because I just got extremely lucky. You can go back and watch those summoning sessions. By comparison, my previous dupe 1 Grimmjow performance was 296.47 million total damage, a DPS of 2.47 million, so a 0.30 million DPS increase, and about, let's call it an even 40 million total damage, but it's really closer to, you know, 38% or 38 million total damage more, which is good. Which is very good. Great buffs. I really don't have anything to say beyond great buffs. I think they did exactly what they needed to do if they wanted to buff these characters without tipping them so far ahead. And as we sort of consider, just to put it in the middle here, I now think that Ulquiorra is essentially a must summon at B0. I don't think you need the B1, but we can again close this out by going to the Slash Tower, or not the Slash Tower, the Spirit Tower, and seeing how we do there. Previously, I beat this with a double support lineup of Aizen. Yeah, here's my double support lineup. Pretty scuffed, but we can go in here now and check it out, see how it goes. And let me grab my controller. We'll just do this live. Why not? We'll do it live. Haven't done this fight in a while, huh? The old Aizen fight. But this should be pretty clean. We'll just do this, and, you know, oh my god. Ooh, I haven't really seen this yet. Ooh, that looks good. Oh, you know what? Let me get to the actual Aizen fight. Let me not waste time. And here we are. We're back. Let's get this done proper. So here we go against Aizen. Free to play showcase. Free to play as this team can really be, you know, considering so many characters. That beautiful come in, and we'll get this going. We'll get it started. We'll get this partying or started the right way here. So, of course, with the thing here, let's get this off early. Thought he was doing his multi-slash counterable hit, but it was a little trick by him. And we're going to go into Zael after this rotation. We're going to do like this. And we'll probably go out here, yeah. Try to get another rotation build here. There we go. I was looking for that. If you're wondering why I didn't special attack earlier, I was looking for that. And we'll go ult and then into... We'll go ult into Aizen. We could have gotten another Seto there. It was probably a mistake, honestly. We'll go here. We'll do a few rotations here. There we go. We'll grab our... We'll put stick in the box. Had to hit a lick with the box here. Aizen auto dodges the damage he could have taken there. Grab this here. We didn't get our ult for Aizen up on that rotation, which usually we do. So pretty sloppy here. We'll just do it naturally then. That's it. This is what happens. Like, I've talked about this, you know, this before. Oh, wow, the camera got weird. I couldn't see him. But I've talked about this before, this, like, happening. But when you actually, like, are playing a fight that isn't just, you know, a DPS check like in training mode, things do get sloppier, and you have to, you know, you have to evaluate the characters based on how messy these fights can get. It can't always really just be, you know, the perfect scenario every single time, right? So here we go. We both get a Seto off and manage to hit our full, you know, ultimate here. About 8 million, not too bad. We did no, again, we didn't have Zael Lapidos ult up, but not a perfect run by any means. I probably could scam this. You know, I could go into redo this fight just to sort of have a better version of it, but I really don't like doing perfect fights. I don't like showcasing like a perfect rotation fight, just because it should be achievable, right? It should be something that anyone can do, whether you're on mobile or, you know, what have you. It shouldn't just be like, oh, look at me, like, flex how much damage I can do, right? There's a time and a place for that, right? There's a time and a place for that, but for me, that's what the training mode's for, not what these showcases are for. These showcases are for, like, hey, what does this character actually look like in a realistic setting? And this is about it. We're just gonna try to pump out the last bit here. Hopefully we get ult at the same time. We didn't, again. We do have to dodge these. Here. I pushed it a little bit just to get this. And now we can do this. Which is my preferred way of ulting out on this character. We do this, and we'll go into this after. That looks kind of sick. Then we go here into the box. Hit a lick with the box, of course. Double up. I haven't really hit many counters or anything. Again, not the cleanest run in the world, and you know that is sort of by design. Like I said, it's not always important that you just show the best version of a run. Sometimes you have to show a run that just looks like, you know, achievable. And I think this is quite achievable for the average, you know, free-to-play player. That got crazy. Did he not crit there? That's crazy. We are piecing him up bad, by the way. There we go. We hit the Seto and got the ult here. Oh, it looks crazy. And we're finally going to break him for what I assume is the first time this run around. So we'll go ahead and get this. And I didn't special technique at the end. Didn't think I had it up. I in my head, by the way, what was going on there is I was rushing to sort of get this bit of damage in because I want to finish him with the, you know, the ender here, like in the actual time that he spirits were broken. Ooh. And we still get it. so sick looking. It's so sick looking, but yeah, I mean, there you go. Not like the perfect run or anything. Put my controller away there. Not the perfect run or anything, but I mean, 23 million on Ulquiorra. You know, it's clean. It's clean. There it is. You get the character at B0. You don't even need really any bonus sort of faculties for the run. You know, B0, core stamp 2. You know, core stamp 2, but you know, by comparison, again, Aizen, core stamp 1, 0 boundaries. If you have even 1 boundary on Aizen, this looks a lot better. No boundaries here. Don't even have his core stamp. You know, how many times have I said that? So yeah, there's the buffed showcase of our Ulquiorra. What you can expect, a very, very attainable version of that run. It's gonna let your spirit team essentially clean up anything it has to. There's like, yeah, I would say so. So like I said, if you don't have Aizen, I wouldn't suggest pulling on Aizen here, even with the buffs. But if you don't have Ulquiorra, I would prioritize at least 1 copy of Ulquiorra, and not even with dupes. So yeah, I've been Lone. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the club, go make it, and peace.